Good morning, Antigua and Barbuda. I'm your meteorologist, Jaleel Jacobs, and I'm here to bring you today's tropical weather outlook for Sunday, 12th November 2023. Now, right away, we see there's no tropical cyclone activity is not expected during the next 48 hours. However, we're still in hurricane season. We have about 19 days left till the end of the hurricane season, and we are keeping monitor of all the areas for future development. And as you can see in our next slide, that across the Western Caribbean, there's a area that is currently being watched for future development in the Southwestern Caribbean, just north of Panama, extending all the way to Jamaica and the southern tip of Cuba. And this area is being investigated for further development over the next 7 days. We'll take a look at our satellite imagery, and we see this particular area here has a 50% chance of formation over the next 7 days. And that is due to conditions in this region being conducive for further development. And so this system is being closely monitored for future development. As you can see in our main development region, from the western coast of Africa all the way across to the Eastern Caribbean, there are no current systems being monitored. However, we do have some area of a deep layered moisture that is causing some rainfall to the Windward Islands and straight down to Trinidad and Tobago, and even across Barbados. And so we take a look at the Western Caribbean satellite. Well, our total precipitable water, and as I would have mentioned before in previous videos, these darker brown, purple shaded areas are the areas where there's a lot of moisture. And again, these blue and greens and yellow areas are areas where the moisture level is just marginal. And we see here across the British Virgin Islands, US Virgin Islands, and the Leeward Islands that there's not a lot of moisture around. So our conditions, so a lot of rainfall or significant rainfall is not anticipated over the next 24 hours because we are more on the drier side of things. However, to the southern side of the Caribbean, we see all these brown, almost purple shaded areas here. These areas of deep layered moisture, which is why across the southern portions of the Caribbean, we are looking at some potential of a thunderstorm and heavy rainfall. And with that large area here that's being investigated, we see there's a lot of deep layered moisture still around this area. And so this area is being monitored for future development of systems. Straight into our western satellite image, and we see the large area here that I've marked off is where that tropical disturbance possibility lies. And if this area here, currently the Panamanian low, is to develop any further, it will drift northeasterly, towards Jamaica and the southern tips of Cuba and Haiti. And this would be a tropical cyclone Vince. That's the next name on our list, Vince. We have two more names there, Vince, and then Whitney, and then we move on to a supplementary list of names if we do get through Vince and Whitney. This area seems most likely to become Vince. It's a 50% chance over the next 7 days, and then, as I said, drift northeasterly across the central parts of the Western Caribbean. And we can see there's a lot of thunderstorm activity already associated with the area. Some organization seems to be taking place, and so we'll continue to monitor that. These countries here, Jamaica, southern tip of Cuba, and the western coast of Haiti, we will continue to monitor their local meteorological services for information on actions that need to be taken should this system continue development. And we will continue to monitor as well, just for information purposes for those residents there and persons even here with family members living in these areas. So we will also continue to monitor and bring you updates as this system continues to develop. Across the Eastern Caribbean, there's not a lot taking place in our next satellite image, and we see the Virgin Islands and the Leeward Islands, where not a lot of convective activity taking place like it is in the southern side of the Caribbean. However, some shallow patches of low-level clouds, as we can see on the satellite image, will continue to move across that. And so we have some partly cloudy conditions at times, with just a brief passing shower or two, and that could be expected across some areas in the Leeward Islands and the British Virgin Islands. Across the southern side of the Eastern Caribbean now, much higher percentages of rainfall, a 60-70% chance, even 80% chance in some islands. And this is expected to continue at least for the next day and a half or so, until all that moisture continue to drift westward out of the area. Next, we take a look at what's taking place across Antigua and Barbuda this afternoon. Partly cloudy conditions with a 20% chance of showers. High temperature of 31 degrees today, or 88 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds out of the east at 12 to 22 miles per hour, gusting up to 32 miles per hour. Our sunset time at 5:32 p.m. this afternoon. For tonight, we remain partly cloudy, 20% chance of showers, a nice cool low temperature of 24 degrees Celsius, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. And tomorrow, across Antigua and Barbuda, we have partly cloudy conditions with a 40% chance of showers. Again, that is for those shallow patches of clouds that are going to move across the island, and the potential of a quick passing shower or two, 40% chance of those showers taking place on the partly cloudy conditions. 31 degrees Celsius, much like today, 88 degrees Fahrenheit, with the winds out of the east at 12 to 18 miles per hour. Sunrise time tomorrow, 6:10. Sunset time is at 5:32. There is a small craft advisory out currently for the waters, mainly on the Atlantic side of the island. So mariners should avoid navigating. If you have to, you exercise extreme caution, as there is a small craft advisory. Some of those strong winds, as we see here, 12 to 22 miles per hour, 12 to 18 miles per hour throughout the rest of the week until Wednesday. These above normal winds are going to create some uptick in the sea conditions. And so, as we see, 6 to 8 feet today, Sunday, 5 to 7 feet throughout the rest of the week. So mariners are asked to exercise caution, as there is a small craft advisory out right now. A 40% chance of precipitation throughout the week, Montserrat, Antigua and Barbuda. Actually, much of the east, much of the Leeward Islands and Virgin Islands are going to remain the same. St. Kitts and Nevis, not much is taking place. On our next slide, same east at 12 to 22 miles per hour. St. Kitts and Nevis, our next slide. Much is not taking place across the similar conditions. Anguilla, similar conditions taking place over the next 4 days, and the British Virgin Islands as well. Not much change in conditions across the British Virgin Islands. Similar taking place across all the islands for the next 4 days. So that's it for our look at our tropical weather outlook for today, Sunday, 12th of November. Continue to like and subscribe to our social media channels, Antigua and Barbuda Meteorological Service on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Our hotline, 463-4638, and our website, where we make daily updates on what's taking place across the Leeward Islands and British Virgin Islands. Again, I am Jaleel Jacobs. Thank you for joining, and see you soon.